Have you ever had the feeling like you were being watched, but when you turned around to see there wasn't no one there? Well, I've been having that issue nonstop for a little under a week now. I live in a small townhome, only one floor and 5 rooms. I'm a software engineer, so I don't get out much, but I've experienced the feeling even when I'm home. So I decided to help keep me sane. I'd write about it. Well, that's what my therapist suggested. She claims I have a minor psychotic episode caused by loneliness or lack of human contact that caused me to become paranoid. I think she's full of shit, but, someone's out to get me. But I guess that just proves her point. I spend most of my time in my room since that's where my computer is, and I'm either working on developing new software for my company or I'm sleeping. But occasionally I go out. I have to get groceries somehow. I went out today. I had to go run and get some milk, so I made a quick stop at my local convenience store, and on the walk there, I knew I was being watched. I could feel their eyes on me, but as usual, when I would spin around to look at them, I'd be alone. I wasn't being watched this time. I was being followed as well. I can hear the bushes around me rustling every now and then, and there was no breeze. No breeze that would have caused it. I feel like I should say I do not suffer from any mental illness. I was never diagnosed or had any possible signs until this point. I would go see a therapist to talk about work-related stresses since I worked in a competitive environment. It was a company mandated. I just decided, since she was there, I would tell her that I was being watched and see if she could help. Well, hopefully the writing does help. When I got home, I noticed small scratches on the bottom of my door, around the height of my knees. They must have been left there by some crazy runaway dog. I woke up this morning to a chill wind blowing through my open window. I shut the window every night before bed, so I knew it was closed when I went to sleep. There was a sickening smell that accompanied the wind. It smelled like gasoline or burning rubber. As soon as the smell hit me, I threw up. I shut the window and went to clean it up. That's when I noticed the small scratches along my windowsill and across my blankets. I felt sick to my stomach. Something was in my room last night. I didn't have a scratch on my body, but I'm still scared for my life. After the fear I had dictated, I made a call to the police. I told them that I felt like I was being watched and about the scratches. They told me to get a window lock and to not leave my garbage out. They said it was just some raccoon or a cat. Fucking idiots. The whole time I was installing the locks, I was being watched. Whatever was in my room last night was out there now and watching me. What is it? What the hell does it want? I sent my therapist an email telling her about the scratches and it coming inside my house through my window, but she told me I was letting my psychosis get the better of me, and I was imagining all this. She told me to try and keep my mind off of it, so I decided to call a few of my friends over to play some games and see if drinking would help. Yeah, it didn't. The entire time they were over, I kept glancing out the windows, looking for whatever was watching me or whatever was following me. No, stalking me, terrorizing me. They could tell something was wrong, but I guess they didn't care to ask. When everyone was leaving, I was walking them out to their cars. I could see this shadow darting around the bushes. It was the same thing that was following me. I hurried inside after everyone drove off. I didn't want to be outside any longer, and plus it began raining, so hopefully that keeps that thing away from me. Following day, I woke up on my own. No open window, no foul smell, thank God. But there were fresh scratches on my window, and underneath were a pair of footprints that were anything but human. I took a picture of it on my phone just to be safe. And I scoured the internet and concluded that these didn't belong to any animal. Whatever that thing is, it couldn't get in. So, thank God for the lock. I want to call the police again and show them the picture, but I doubt they would believe me. Plus, I'd have to go to the station to show them the pictures, and, well, I feel a lot safer inside my own house, where it's actually locked. I didn't leave the house at all. I just sat at home and tried my best not to think about what was very obviously watching me. I don't understand how I constantly have the feeling of being watched, but can never see what it is. Part of me is grateful, but at the same time, my curiosity needs to be satiated. So I decided to get a camera set up outside. I had an old webcam, so I put it on the fence that borders my house. I set it up to the face of my bedroom window. So that way, if it tries to get in, I'd have some proof to show the cops, and I'll know exactly what it is. I've had that camera set up for about a week now, and it hasn't caught much more than a few shadows darting around. I haven't noticed any fresh scratches anymore or any sets of footprints. The burning rubber and the gasoline smell that still lingers around, along with the feeling I'm being watched, is really annoying, but other than that, I think I'm more or less in the clear. The cameras must have been the thing that's set it to stay away from me. Must not want to be seen. I emailed my therapist and told her about this, and she's glad that I'm doing better, and says perhaps setting up the camera was playing into my psychosis. And though it seems like it might be helping, I shouldn't overreact if it catches anything. When I actually do get to see what it is, I'll show that I'm not crazy. I was woken up in the middle of the night by my window being smashed. I remember screaming and thrashing. I could feel something on top of me. The smell of burning rubber and gasoline filled my room as I flailed wildly against a dark figure on top of me, my cries being dampened as its fleshy palm forced me down. I shook violently out of panic and sheer terror. I felt its sharp nails digging through me, into the blankets, into my side. I fought against it, its immense strength, and due to the darkness and the panic, I didn't really get a good look at what was on top of me, but it couldn't have been more than 4 feet tall. It was so thin. It made this horrid screeching sound, and it tore back through the now shattered window. I went straight to my computer, tears streaming down my bloodied face. I had to check the camera. I had to check the camera footage to see what it was. I needed proof before I ran away. The video didn't show anything, not until the end, when the picture went all fuzzy for a few seconds. It came back out from the window. I couldn't see it properly in my room during the darkness, but I can make out frantic struggles in the video. Then the picture went all fuzzy, but at the very last frame, I managed to freeze it and see the creature as it ran out my room. I must have broken the camera because recording stopped at that point. I saved the video to my hard drive and removed it. I locked myself in the bathroom until morning. I don't remember anything else from that night. I mostly spent my time shaking and crying I'm not afraid to say that. I was almost murdered by some monster. The police told me it was some scammer. And I used an internet program to make the video. That I smashed my own window to claim on the insurance. Fucking assholes. My therapist told me to stop bothering her with this nonsense and that if I wasn't going to help myself, she was no longer going to help me. I know what I saw. And I never want to see that thing again. I'm leaving. I don't have much money, but I'll find my way. I'll make it. I just know I can't be here anymore. I've been living fine for the past 3 years. I got a wife and a kid now. My life is finally normal. I'm happy. Rather, I was happy. Until this morning, when I noticed the unmistakable smell of burning rubber and gasoline. The smell alone sent shivers of terror through my spine. I never told my wife about the thing that attacked me. I didn't tell her because I didn't want her to think I'm some crazy person. But when she told me that someone was watching her, I knew I had to tell her because it was happening again.